So there I am one night, chilling in my Spider-Man undies, nipples harder than a rock, and I'm in bed trying to think of topics for my next video. And after about 10 minutes, I'm not gonna lie, I got bored and started going through my saved videos on TikTok. My thought process was I was trying to find inspiration, but really I was just coping because this is what my save page looks like.
Tonight, I'm setting a meat-eating world record, 50 pounds.
But as I'm scrolling with zero purpose whatsoever, I come across this video from months ago.
When you meet his friend group and he's not the leader.
Huh? And it made me think of all the reactions to the tweet. Like, I remember this video got clowned to oblivion when it first blew up. Because the tweet just sounds stupid. Like, group leader? Bitch, we are not a gang! Like, this is probably how she thinks guy circles work. Attention! Hey, yo, what we doing today, boss? Yeah, man, what's the move? We moved to McDonald's, lads! Like, this group leader shit, I promise you, does not apply to guy friend groups. However, yeah, believe it or not, guys, there are guy friend groups out there that operate in a hierarchy, leader-follower based system. And I myself have been a victim of this cesspit of a friend group. And believe me, it is toxic. Like, the common stereotype of guy and girl friend groups is that women tend to have more toxic circles and fake friends, whilst the guy friend groups are more chill. But that's not true at all. Guy friend groups can be just as toxic and shitty as girlfriend groups, just in different ways. So in celebration of me breaking free from this pool of shit, I thought I'd spread my gospel on this topic because my experience in a group like this has definitely shaved years off my lifespan and rotted my brain beyond comprehension. And who knows, there may be a time in which you find yourself in this situation and need a reason to distance yourself from these people. So without further ado, here's the hierarchy of a horrible guy friend group from bottom to top. So the first level of this hierarchy gang of a friend group is what I like to call the victim level, or the grunt of the group. Now before I describe what the victim is, I will say this. A lot of healthy guy friend groups also have this guy as part of the dynamic. He's kind of a punching bag. Like, he's usually the guy that gets violated the most, and he's generally just a meme of the group. But the key difference here is that the victim in a normal guy friend group is still treated as a human. Like, he's still one of the boys. He's just the easiest to poke fun at. He roasts, he gets roasted, like a lot, but he's happy and we're happy. Like, there's no ill will between anybody. However, in a toxic group, this guy is barely seen as one of the boys. He's basically just another number to the group. Like, if we needed a fifth person and no one else was on, he'd be called in as a last resort type shit. And when I say these guys aren't treated like humans, I mean it. Their opinions and needs aren't taken as seriously. They get violated way harder and more personally because they aren't respected or even liked that much by everybody. They'd, quote, ruin jokes just by making them. Like, the joke just becomes cringe whenever they say it. They're excluded from games, events, or whenever numbers are made up. And they're just all around not respected. And the saddest part is this guy had too low self-worth to leave. He just accepted his place. Like, this guy had Stockholm Syndrome or something. Bro would not leave the group. KD, I bet you're one of these guys. That's why you know so much. Ah! A rubber bullet! I pray to God every day, and I'm thankful that I wasn't one of these guys. And even though I'd say I'm a pretty respectful and unproblematic guy, even I got in on the act sometimes because this guy was just so annoying sometimes you had to violate him. And it's in those kind of scenarios where I'm like, yeah, maybe there is a reason this guy's the victim. But nah, all in all, no one deserves this kind of treatment. Especially from people they call their friends. If you feel like the victim of your friend group and feel as if you are the ant of the group and get disrespected too much, I highly suggest finding new friends because as hard as it may be to leave your, quote, boys, you gotta have more self-respect and not stay around these kinds of people. You aren't doing any favors for your mental. Okay, moving on from that, now you're at the midsection. The middle tier guys. The normal guys who aren't the punching bags, but aren't the top dogs either. Like, this is just very average. Like, these people could split off into their own friend group and have a pretty healthy dynamic. But didn't. There's really not much to say here, but this is where I fit in, because I was a late addition and all these dynamics had already been put into place. But this next tier, holy shit, it may be even worse than the leader dynamic itself. In fact, it may even be the catalyst for the leader being a thing. And that is the yes men of the group. The people that hype up and show hard favoritism to the people they like the most, stroking their wangs at every given chance, and essentially creating the group leaders due to their vicious meat riding. Because if multiple people are giving heavy backing to one person or maybe even two or three, the group leader outcome is inevitable. And I know before I express sympathy to the victim of the group, but sometimes you victims just deserve it because holy hell, sometimes y'all do it as well. All to try and get on their good side in the hopes that they won't be treated like an aborted fetus by the rest of the group. And by the way, pro tip for all you social idiots out there. If someone is disrespecting you, the absolute fucking worst thing you could do is hype them up and over-respect them. Because you're basically putting yourself below them and giving them license to walk all over you. But let's get back on track. Like, bro, it is so cringe seeing these kind of men show off their favoritism to the people they like the most. They're like the king's jesters. They would ride for them in any argument. They would hype them up whenever they did anything. They would immediately do anything the group leader wanted to without any second thought other than their boyfriend was doing it. You know, matter of fact, here's a reenactment of the thought process of a yes man. Alright, I'm bored. Y'all wanna run some Siege?
I don't know.
What about Fortnite? Yeah, let's do it! Yeah, I love Fortnite!
Yeah, guys, Fortnite, yeah.
Shut up, Melvin!
Yeah, do as he says, Melvin. Get the f out of here.
Dick riding. Like, y'all know how I feel about meat riding, but I only address meat riding on the internet. That shit may be bad, but when you are riding your homies like a Ferris wheel, platonically, you have to be sexually confused with something. Like, as a man, why are you putting another man on a pedestal? Why do you view yourself as below your own mans? Simply because you like them? Why do you ride for your boy when called... Yo, holy shit, that just reminded me. The glazing levels were off the charts when you shit-talked or clowned them in any way. Like, bro, that is meant to be one of the boys. He's equal to us. He's not the king of the castle. Why do you get so offended for him when someone tries to roast him?
Don't talk to him like that. He's way better than you are.
It's not your boyfriend! And why do you professional glazers hype up your lovers when they diss someone else? Even if it's mid. Like, he could say the most mid shit like, you're trash or something, and the call would just sound like, personally, I wouldn't have that shit. Alright, I've said enough about the other tiers. So let's take a tour through the most unlikely scenario known to man. Your nerd ass becomes group leader. You're now the big dog. You call the shots. No one can mess with you. Your boys need permission whenever they leave the house, and you can smash their girl whenever you feel like it. So what did you do to earn the position? Well, to be honest, the quote, leader being chosen in these kinds of groups isn't really to do with designation. It's just kind of an unspoken thing. It wasn't something that was claimed, but more so designated by the yes men, because their meat riding would indirectly give them license to call shots. And how the title was designated was based on your skills. You know, maybe you're the best at gaming, or you're the funniest, or you just have traits that give you status and unique value among the other people. And then the natural born yes men professional begs hop on your back and ride for you under any means necessary, essentially making you their leader as a result of their furious white knighting. And now you're untouchable. And if you couldn't guess already, this dynamic made for a hellhole of toxic dog shit. The grunts are victimized and bullied basically every time they open their mouth. Arguments would break out a lot because egos would inevitably clash, because not everyone is a fucking yes man. And people immediately start instigating, taking sides, and more notably meat riding, because if you dare try to talk shit to the person they favor, banter or not, you have to go through his army of dogs because God forbid you see your own homeboy as your equal. Like, it's so funny, no one thought to de-escalate the situations. Nah, it just became a monkey fest as people fueled the fire because everyone's too prideful to admit they're wrong. And the behind the back talking too, like, you think girls are the only ones that gossip behind each other's backs? Bro, guys be talking the most shit and backstabbing too. Like, these men be gossiping like some hoes, bro! Like, if you as a friend group are having to split off into mini groups of people you like the most so you can freely talk shit about the rest of the group, y'all shouldn't even be friends. And if y'all can't even call each other out without falling outs happening, you are a group of pussies. One gang of loose vaginas, bro. Like, as a man, why are you gossiping like a weasel-ass, socially awkward rat? Why can't you resolve your issues man to man? Why do you only talk bad on someone's name when the person you're beefing with ain't around? Wouldn't it be more helpful to bury the hatchet and squash beef like men so y'all can move forward? Just food for thought. And also, there isn't democracy in a group like this because a majority of the group just wants to follow the leader in everything that they do. If the leader wants to play a certain game, the yes men follow. And eventually everyone wants to play that game because if you don't, you get left out. No one wants that. And if the leader is getting bored, the yes men don't want to play no more either, miraculously. So the session ends. Like, are we even friends, bro? And bonus point, if girls are added to the group, holy shit, it becomes such an unga bunga simfest because these guys got no game whatsoever. That girl is put on a high ass pedestal because she got punani, and everyone just wants to follow her around until she leaves. And then the group fucking disbands one by one when she's gone. Like, are we even friends, bro? What is holding us together? Like, okay, sure. Just like in any friend group, there were obviously fun moments and good times that would trick you to thinking you were tight. But you weren't. Yeah, like, you just weren't. Because the fact of the matter is, if you find yourself stepping on eggshells around your own boys, you need better friends. So having heard all this, you're probably sitting there right now and thinking, well, holy hell, I don't want to be in this scenario. Or maybe you might even have friends like this yourself and don't quite realize it yet. as I once did. Well, first things first, let's go over the signs that you might be in this situation. 1. You find that the group is not one cohesive unit, but more like one circle of mini cliques formed within it between the people who like each other the most. That right there is just single big red flags, because if your friend group isn't a group, then y'all aren't really friends. 2. Obviously, there's a victim. A punching bag that is not only flamed more than everyone else, but is also just flat out disrespected and treated as below the rest of the group for one reason or another. And again, if you feel like you've been victimized for no good reason, just leave, bro. I promise there's better people out there. Like, I promise you. 3. It isn't a fully democratic group. If y'all can't decide on things together and people just follow whoever they like the most, you gotta hit the boosters and get as far away as possible. Save yourself the brain rot. And bonus tip, if they aren't good around girls, if these guys want to act like anything like guy 2 or guy 4 when girls come around, this isn't even true to just this situation. If you got friends like this, you gotta cut them ASAP, because they are not good for you. And the best way I've found to avoid these types of people or get into this dynamic is to keep your circle tight. Like, I'm talking no more than 6 people will be in your close friend group. Because the smaller the circle, the less of this kind of behavior will be tolerated. At least in my experience. Because this behavior tends to happen in bigger groups. One where there's too many people for everyone to be tight with each other. So in conclusion, build better self-esteem and self-worth. Don't tolerate these lames in your life and save yourself the headache.
Is there a seed in this cherry, sir?
I thought I took them all out. I swear I didn't tell you to speak, nigga. Is there a seat in this bitch? Yes, group leader. Drop and give me 7,000.
Who's the group leader?
Who's the group leader?
You are.